All right, so hey, I've got an experiment going with some AUPD foil from the dollar store, um, and some wrapping paper that's made out of bamboo. Very, very thin, um, and weighs almost nothing, but it's very strong. So, it's like wrapping paper. Um, and then the AUPD glue, which is Gorilla Glue. And this is kaolinite clay, but basically the dust on the side of the road will do if you screen out the rocks. So you get it down to a very, very fine dust, and when it dries with the Gorilla Glue, you get a cubic structure across the plastic because it's creating covalent bonds. What I have here is basically a sheet of tinfoil. It weighs about the same as a sheet of tinfoil. Um, I added a little bit of weight with the paper and a very thin amount of glue. I spread that glue as thin as I could get it with the way I did it, and I'm gonna do even more thin here in a few minutes with my spray bottle. So we're looking at this because what I'm gonna do now is find my scissors, and I'm gonna put the phone down for a minute. What I'm gonna do is cut out like a circle basically around that J. Um, and we'll see what I end up with. But I can cut it like a piece of rigid paper or something, um, and then mold it and change its shape and all of that kind of stuff. Because it's a piece of plastic, it's no longer just paper and aluminum. And it's not aluminum, it's AUPD foil, and the AUPD dust in the glue bonds with the foil, and it creates these covalent bonds. So this stuff is really strong, or at least I think so, and this is how we're going to find out. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so this is some that I cut off of there that didn't actually bond all the way. So this is the stuff that bonded. And I left only the stuff that's actually glued together. Um, and I now have something that, see, this is just like a piece of aluminum foil and a piece of paper. Whoops. Paper's kind of cool because it's got that AUPD dust and glue in it, and so it goes silver and gold, and it's now a plastic. It's a bioplastic. Um, And the foil is still just plain old foil. It didn't get any glue, and didn't get enough glue to make things stick. So if you watch, the gold kind of shifts and changes depending on where the light is, and that's because of the AUPD. And you can see the bumps in there, and those are actually little crystals growing across the plastic when it dries. Very cool stuff. So this one I should be able to, and look, this is like it's a rigid thing now. It's a piece of hard plastic, but I can bend it and make it do things. Like aluminum foil. That's what it is. I mean, it's thin aluminum foil, but it feels like a thick piece of metal now. Wow, huh? Basically for free. And this is something that I can build dirigibles with, stuff that people are going to fly around in and maybe go back to the stars. On a budget, something you can make at home.